Special meeting for the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Malcolm Ragland this 22nd day of February 2023 at 7:02 p.m. Call the roll. Councillor Banks.
Here.
Councillor Coppa.
Here.
Councillor Keller.
Here.
Councillor Quad.
Present.
Okay. We have a resolution that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Ragland adopt the agenda as submitted. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Banks, seconded by Councillor Keller. Any discussion?
No.
Can I call for the vote on that? All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest for anyone on the agenda?
Not by me.
Not on my part.
Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed to a closed session that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Ragland, go into closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, section 239, sub 2, for the purposes of subsection B regarding personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, and D, labor relations or employee negotiations. Could I get a mover for that, please? Councillor Quad, seconded by Councillor Caulfield. Any discussion? Can I call for the vote on that, please? All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Here, the close one first.
We have a motion that the council of the corporation of the township of Brunel and Ragland come out of closed session at 7:31 p.m. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councillor Caulfield, seconded by Councillor Banks. Okay, so now we're going to move to our budget. We have a copy of the draft in front of you. So what is is this the same amount of tax dollars as last year, or?
It is, yes. It's a starting point for council. When we have to, council decide what we're going to increase the, to proceed with.
Okay. So we're not going to go through it line by line, I don't think. If anybody has questions on the line, they can ask them, I would think.
Page by page.
Yeah. So on the first page is the summary of the departments, the reconciliation.
So should at the very end of the page where it says budget, should that be 2020? Yes, it should.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I was wondering too.
Yeah.
That's all right.
That
I figured
just
it out.
summarizes all of these pages by department. Under the revenues, I had a question on the federal gas tax revenue, like we've been getting 63,000.
That was the year for the top up.
Oh, 2022 was the top up. 2021 was the top up.
Yeah.
What page you on here now?
Page 2.
Okay.
So then last year we got 49,102.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're gonna get 49,740 this year.
Yes.
Okay. And then I was going to, the OCIF. It was 437 budgeted and got 220. Was there a reduction or is,
So the 225 we pulled is what we used out of what?
and the rest went into reserve?
Yes.
Okay, I've seen that on the reserve page on, where is that? On page 4.
That's if we're taking any money from the reserve. So the OCIF was left blank because we didn't use from the reserve.
Okay,
We used what?
we're taking that 243 from the reserve then this year is income.
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
So for OCIF money this year, we are allotted 371,839.
Okay,
And in addition to that, we are also proposing to pull 243,423 to help cover all of our road construction projects that we have on.
okay. And this community garden grant, that's still left over from 2021?
That's correct.
Does anybody ever use that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
last year.
Last year,
It's
the
cool.
school used it.
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
The senior program wanted to use a portion of it. There were a couple of members of the public that used a little bit of it.
Okay.
It was the garden school last year.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and they used to go and pick in the summer and put it in baskets out of their fence, and people would pick it up. Yes. So does anyone else have any questions on page 2?
We will see a new line on under Ontario specific grants for our Ontario Summer Experience Program.
Yeah,
That's for our, is it the students, but the student.
What's that word again?
The students,
Summer school? Okay.
So that's something that we're applying for, or we have applied for?
we have applied for already, we haven't heard back yet.
Oh.
Now, have you advertised yet for?
Dan's suggestion was to advertise for the swim students in March.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to advertise for the rest of the summer jobs as well, because everybody around us already is as well.
yeah, they all want their ads.
That's what I mean, yeah, that's why I asked if we,
I do have an extra line in the advertisement that says, hiring dependent on grants and budgeting process.
Yeah,
But yeah, you
If you
gotta
get
get
the ad
it
out
before,
there, that'd be great.
before
Yeah.
university and everybody's out,
yeah,
that you get to do it before.
probably could go ahead and advertise.
I
now.
don't think so, yeah.
Next week is March, I think.
Yeah.
Good. So then on to page 2,
Page 3.
sorry, I took my first page off and put it in another product.
Now, it's $480, what's that rent?
The chip wire.
On the chip wire?
Yeah.
Okay.
Has he came forward to get his lease for this year?
Not yet.
Under general government, first line, what drove the budgeted to actual so much higher?
That was,
Way back.
yeah.
What's that?
You can pay that.
Oh, okay.
Penalties and interest slash taxes, what's that?
Penalties and interest on taxes, that's how much you collect in
Okay,
there. Huh?
that's what it is, it's on, okay.
Just under outstanding
Good
taxes.
saying, okay.
Yeah. The miscellaneous recreation revenue was that money that was in there, that's what was put into reserve that time for full seasons park. What was that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm wondering at the interest, investment income and interest on our investment income. Why was it so high last year?
Because interest rates were,
Went up.
went up.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Went up a lot.
So I don't think we did good on selling our old stuff, did it? So you'll talk to Marlene about Bicentennial Park. Anybody have any other questions on page 3? On to page 4. Do you have a schedule showing one? Oh, this is the balance of our reserve. At the end of 2022.
Want a total balance?
Yeah,
At the end of 2022, for reserves, we were left with around 1.8 million.
1.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Modernization money, the 122.27, that's what we have left going forward for this year. And that's
Is it
on the year
earmarked?
It is all.
Nothing. I thought so. And our COVID money is all gone?
Yes.
We're not getting any more, I take it?
No.
No, originally doesn't stop that.
Yeah, that's
It's getting money still related to COVID. And that's for PPE and that kind of thing is long-term homes and home.
No,
It's in the healthcare, that's right. What are we doing at the waste site for $250,000?
You'll get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the amount that's gonna come from reserve for whatever it is. We'll deal with that in the lease, like the use rates, okay?
Page 5.
Page 5.
So the insurance map, that is the actual that's in there.
What's that?
The insurance,
Yes,
that is the actual.
yeah, because they give you that, broke down by departments.
Yeah.
That's one good thing they do. I was looking at the contribution to reserve for election. We spent $15,000 in elections last year, so we have 4 years. Wouldn't we put $4,000 a year in?
To advertise it, yeah.
Yeah. I think that should be
You
changed.
normally would.
Yeah,
You'd spread it across your
yeah,
4 years.
so 4,000. Succession reserve, 15,000, what's that for?
Was the employees. And
There.
Oh. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna budget 15,000 this year. Right. Okay. I understand.
So succession is only for retirement, it's not about succession coming into the place as well, training or anything, does it?
I think that's what it was always called. We got some long time employees.
So it's just. Again, I'm a bit lost at what's going on with money.
Okay,
So that should be it.
that'd be
Yeah,
the
okay.
closed thing.
Right.
Tell them.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna pass this tonight, so.
Yeah, I know.
I think we could change this name of this account, we don't have any more vacancy readers. Gone. Jeff was telling me today that this year and next year, the industrial capping is gonna be gone.
Mhm.
That started in 1998. I remember our first meeting about that. And I was talking to him today about that, and I said, don't be surprised when there's a new market value assessment. If it's the same across the board between each classification, you're fine,
Mhm.
because your assessment will go way up, so your tax rate can lower to collect the same amount of money, but where is the shift going to be?
Yeah.
And it's probably gonna be in the residential.
Yeah.
So are they going to have capping? To bring, like, nobody knows what they're doing, it's silent. Okay, so, I would also like us to put some money into reserve too, not just take, you know,
Like a plan and reserves and
yeah,
not wait till the end of the year and see if there's something left in the reserves.
yeah. But I mean, we'll wait and see how it all goes, but. Okay, thanks. How many years is left on the office, renovation loan? Years. Four, 2034.
Yeah.
2034. When was the renovation done? That's how the elections go. Yeah.
10 years ago?
It's 10 or 12 years ago, I was saying. For the 13,750, is that interest or the principal that we're paying?
The 13,750 is the principal, yeah.
And the above is
Yes.
interest. Okay.
Our server and our software and everything is good.
No, we'll get to that. I do have some numbers.
Mhm.
Our server is meeting an upgrade. And actually, I think our. Is it runs out on the 24th?
Okay, our extension is warranty. It runs out on the 20th, Good Friday.
Our sending warranty on,
This right here.
Yeah.
oh, great.
So
So how old is it?
and 15. It's definitely due for an upgrade, and the reason I don't have any numbers in here is because I just got these quotes. So for server, what we're looking at, what we need is about 24,000.
So who scopes the requirement? Who's technical
Our
and can do that? Okay.
Computer or Stewart Computer Services.
Okay.
5-year extended warranty, be another 2,400.
So typically, if you buy a commercial product, standard 3 years, and you do care packs for two more years. So what kind of product are you buying?
This is a Think server.
I believe it's a Lenovo.
Yeah, I think so.
So did you put that up for tender, or is just
It's just a quote from the.
just a quote from local people? Okay. But normally, yeah, I know it's not that big, but normally wouldn't that be tendered out? Or not necessarily?
To our IT.
So we just hand them the blank check, assuming it's good?
That's,
Well, not a blank check, we have to get them to give you the specs and then you get,
But what do you compare it against if you don't get 3 quotes as all?
yeah, you should really get 3,
Sure, 3 quotes.
yeah,
You can do that.
like request, RFP.
Yeah, yeah.
What does our, purchasing policy say for something that is a
Like what's the threshold? Is there a dollar amount?
Yeah.
yeah,
24,000?
no, but before we,
In the old days with the government, it used to be called a $25,000 call up.
yeah,
So if you're doing call ups, you can spend $25,000 really kind of.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, anything more than that, then there's.
right, so that's what I was wondering is,
In, yeah, being seen that is that amount of a quote or whatever that they give you.
Is,
According to our purchasing bylaw, we will have quotes.
Yeah.
Searchable.
yeah, because they know what we need, so they've given you the specs and what they would charge, so that you go out and get.
And in turn, then if you were to go with another quote, you'd be switching IT companies as well.
can I have a look at the quote? It's kind of in line with us.
Yeah.
And actually, so for that quote, there's actually a deal pricing available until March 31st. So we're going from almost 25,000 to 19.
It's so processing. That even, those transitions.
What do you use for backups?
Storage right there.
So is it a hard drive backup or tape backup?
We have tape backup and storage right is cloud-based. I'm not sure.
So you back up to the cloud and you have local storage, local backups that are done daily, weekly?
Actually, they haven't been done much at all since we've gone to the cloud.
Really? And you test this out? Wow.
If there's any issues with backing up and whatnot, they will send an email.
Well, then typically you test that to make sure it works, right? So normally whoever looks after your IT, they would vet the process, right? They would test it.
They should check with storage pipe to make sure that
They
they
did
can.
when they come in and revamp our
Okay,
system.
You have no idea how many times I've heard people say they've got backups until something breaks and there's no backups. Because they never tested to see if it works. And you go to the cloud. With all your data?
It's cloud-based, yes.
Yeah.
The software is cloud-based. I remember I made that decision.
Yeah, because we had, yeah,
Yeah, because we had a problem and we lost everything and so. Instead of paying to get what we had, it was a couple more $1,000
yeah.
to get the cloud, so we went with the cloud. Because then you always have your updates and everything, it's all done in the cloud.
Well, updates don't happen in the cloud, on technology, it happens locally. And that's usually pushed by Microsoft.
No, for the accounting software, it's done in the cloud.
I'm just explaining to you how IT works, because that's my
Yeah,
field of
well, we
expertise.
never did any updates since we went to the cloud.
Yeah, no, there should always be updates. Microsoft pushes updates all the time.
Yeah,
Keep
but
your
our-
server current.
Our accounting software is.
No, that's
Yeah.
an application,
Yeah.
that's different than
Yeah.
the server. Applications are one thing.
Yeah.
Applications are here.
Yeah.
The server is here with its software, so there's always things are being pushed to the
Yeah.
server to keep it current.
Yeah,
If, again, I'm not sure that you would be aware of that, but somebody should be aware of it.
I'm sure our IT is.
Well, yeah.
He can remote in, so it's
Yeah.
not.
Like when you guys are logging in with your stuff, you get things pushed to you weekly? How are things managed? I wonder, not that, we don't have to drag this out, but I'm looking.
yeah.
I'm seeing, yeah,
Well, that's just an update for this.
yeah. Seeing gas.
Okay, so then you can look at the purchasing policy, see what the processes and how this is all going to come down. Insurance deductible, we're not budgeting anything for that. What is our deductible on our insurance, 10,000?
I believe so.
A lot of municipalities budget that 10,000, so that if you do have a claim, your deductible is there. So we can think on that one.
Okay.
Community safety and well-being, I see there's $6,400 in there. Is that new money or is that?
That is something new this year.
Okay.
So the community safety and wellbeing maybe has been on hold because of COVID.
Yes.
We had a meeting last week. And all of the townships that were a part of this plan are in agreement to go forward with the next steps,
Okay,
which involves the implementation.
yeah,
And so the 6,400 will be our portion of moving forward with the community safety. Wellbeing.
and that replaces or is the community policing? No?
No, it's our community safety and wellbeing plan.
Yeah, I know what that is, but who's on it or who's gonna be involved with the next step, like who?
The person who came up with, who designed the plan, that's going to be the person, is going to be the person that's going to establish and do the footwork of implementing.
Okay,
It's
so
actually,
is there a committee for it or?
I think that's going to be a part of the implementation, is getting that established,
Okay,
from what I understand.
okay,
It's actually coming back to the March meeting, the plan for
Okay.
approval, because there has been a change, as Bonneter Valley also joined up to the cost of room on.
office and parking lot improvements. Where did our pavement go?
Out the window.
Yeah,
It was an all-time premium.
pardon?
Pavement is at an all-time premium right now.
Yeah.
Anything with gas and oil.
Yeah.
Crush block's not a bad price.
That's why,
all of it.
that's why I put down that fine dust, that, line,
Yeah.
granite.
Um,
It's good stuff, yeah.
You wanna come here in the dark in the spring in the mud, and, you sink up the over top of your boots.
Yeah.
Don't have a good crush block on the parking lot.
There's some, but it needs to be expanded. If this front area is okay, then get over further. That's.
Be cheaper to get them higher boots. I'm joking.
Because even if you want to do something, you have to tear the whole parking lot up to go waste to put asphalt on
Pretty
it.
much.
Well, you're wasting your money.
Or you just.
Yeah, you're wasting your money, you know.
Yeah.
All your money is where you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's to get to the part where you can put some asphalt on.
We may end up putting a number in there, it won't be in Virginia discussed, drywall fixed,
Which,
the drywall that was damaged with the water.
yeah, is that under control now?
Yes, since we put the heat cables up, yeah,
That's fixed it, because they used to leak like crazy.
like I said.
Okay, yeah, well, that's a good idea.
I'll get some numbers for that.
Okay, can we go on to page 7 then? There was a talk today for a little bit about more money from the county for their, what did they do for radio or something?
For dispatcher,
Yeah, but that got canned, I believe,
usually it's about like the cost of living.
cola 2%. Anybody have any questions or any thoughts on the fire services or protection? As his fire service and such. What is our growth rate percentage, do you know? Do you know? Maybe, I know.
Especially your small tools and equipment is up higher, right there.
What do you hire?
Around $10,000 in there for some bumper gear, we've had a number of new individuals join the department, so we'll get them suited up. I want to do a dry hydrant install this year.
Or what you install that?
That's correct, I'm ready to go for Bruce now, and I'm trying to get it now. We got some pagers in there, defibrillator. Some rope. Piercing nozzle. I put a drone and a boat trailer in there, we're gonna need to get fundraising money to pay for that. Actually, pick the boat trailer up there. That's what's all right, it's a small business.
So that's all fire department stuff.
Building department? So, did you ask Eddie about that figure, would that be? Okay, so maybe talk to him. Building inspector was kind of interested in if we provided any money for training, like. He likes to do an update once a year, and he also was asking about. We put money in for association dues because he belongs to the CDO. Or,
So where does he work other than here?
so, but this would be for Renfrew County for hours.
So it's unique to the county,
Well,
it's not provincial?
well, yes, but you get to know your fellow county people that, you know, in other municipalities. And they do have, different speakers and information and,
It's good networking.
yeah, it's good networking. Any of those local associations are really good networking. But they wouldn't be hard to use for. I wouldn't think. So we're probably good on that. We have a vehicle for him to drive, right?
Shared, yeah.
A shared vehicle.
I don't know, something here maybe.
Well. Yeah, but he's not working unless he's got fixed days that he comes to the office for the available.
Monday, Wednesday. Gotta have something available.
How much driving is there involved? Like how many kilometers? And
I
I
believe
really
they
not
want
that
that
out.
longer, for sure. It depends on the number of projects on the go and inspection days.
Just trying to weigh the difference between pay mileage or insure a vehicle and keep it on the road.
Depending on where people are building, he's got buildings that reach into the township from Little Ireland to.
Well, for sure, but the cost of keeping vehicles on the road too. The difference.
We were paying, I would show that. I think it weighed what it would cost for us now. I remember correctly, that's why we got that old car one. So,
Yeah, it depends on how long the car is gonna last and how, whether you buy something and amortize it.
Well, we got our money's worth in our focus.
that was a soft little car.
They're insured to drive it, so there's no liability. So we report that to the insurance company, who's driving the vehicle, and they
Is
say
it
that
those
those
of our drivers?
Okay, or stock yours? That's
That's an unknown.
yeah. Is this our actual policing cost
It
for
is.
this year?
It actually went down.
Yeah.
Do we pay that, do we pay that monthly or is it a lump sum or monthly?
911 supplies?
We changed that to civic address. So what?
Pardon?
If we change that to civic address. So what?
Yeah.
What does it really mean then?
That's the posts and that.
Okay, so it's just.
Address.
Sorry. First I was thinking it was Band-Aids. like-
That's why I wanted to clarify that.
Okay, so we're good.
We don't really
That's what
know
it
this,
is.
not
Yeah.
much.
Okay, we're down to transportation services.
Oh, the big one.
The big.
And the highlighted numbers, Jordan and I just put numbers in there, they're not actuals yet, we won't know that until we get our dimension from Infrastructure Ontario, but I'll put a number in there where we thought it would close.
Okay.
So that's like an annual payment?
It will be.
Is it a one,
Right?
is it a one-time thing annually or is that
Yeah.
just one-time annually?
No, this one we put in for quarterly payments.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
often
okay.
on larger equipment, it's quarterly, that's what's fine.
Yeah. So the down here's the pickup, this is last year, right? I think so.
I think we have this year and next year.
Oh, okay.
So you have 2 payments this year and 1 next year.
Okay. What's the equipment rentals, what do we rent?
That was, what was that for?
Stafford? Stafford.
Stacker, and I think the boat, piece of equipment.
Culvert.
Hey,
To do a culvert.
no, last year.
What's the stacker?
Typical winter sand.
Oh. Elevator, okay. Big numbers for equipment maintenance this year.
That is the tractor issue.
Oh, okay, that's why that's. Yeah,
Yeah.
makes sense.
I'm not sure yet, we've been back and forth with insurance on that, so.
Still no running roof in there.
So we have to go ahead and we budget for it.
Yeah.
You get stuck with it, obviously. It's there.
On course and training, you got 10,500. What's such a big number?
I want to send, some employees for greater training.
Oh, okay, yeah. You know, I just noticed it was 763 and 22, and all of a sudden it's up to 10,500.
That's a good course.
That's.
Oh, no, I was just wondering.
Where did they do that?
Here.
Oh,
So
Take
it's
it in, when he comes in.
We have, a 1 day in class session, and then for each operator, they have 1 day to do.
Do they get some kind of a certificate?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And then you'll take a class size of
Three,
three people.
you could go more, but 3 was kind of
Yeah,
for around.
$120 is just fuel for the trucks and the graders and stuff.
It's great.
We have nothing in for culverts.
Well, we have a very good inventory.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, nothing needed there this year.
I was just wondering what about brushing?
It's not growing anymore.
Yeah, it's not really climate change. We left that out for this year, just
You're not gonna brush it off?
just be fine, you know, we've got enough projects lined up that I think we're.
Hmm?
Or brushing now, you can kind of do on our own.
I think, yeah, there's a lot of it we can do on the ground with the guys, just,
No, okay.
that was more for the hire of mechanical.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It needs it, yes, but for this year, we're gonna focus on some other project.
well, we have a big.
We have the roadside more than,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it goes to a certain extent, but there are
yeah,
Trees.
higher stuff that would be.
Yeah.
Talk about brushing, I don't know how you drove along Eagle Road, they're just right at the window in, have you seen how that tree's leaning? That great big elm or whatever it is? No? Sooner or later, I think that's gonna come crashing down, you should ask the, owner if you could take it down for him.
In their yard, I mean,
Well, it's pretty close to the road, it might be halfway,
Where's this one?
Window Road, they're right at, Window Inn. That great big tree, like it's just leaning like this, I noticed that a few times. I don't know if anybody's ever around there anymore.
I'm not sure.
Somebody says the place up for sale, I don't know about
Yeah, I've heard of that for sale.
that, yeah.
So just a highlight of some of the projects lined up for this year. Rainbow Road, try and get a hard top of that on it, with some ditching as well as a couple culverts replaced. August and Lake, get a hard top back onto that. We did bring to council we discussed the minimum road maintenance standards and seasonal roads. We had talked about where the seasonal road started and stopped on August Lake, with the anticipation of possibly extending it to the boat launch. So that includes some excavator work and a little bit of gravel for this year to get that road back up to a usable, passable standard for our vehicles.
So you're gonna try and do hard top on both those roads this year?
Wingo and August Lake, yeah.
Okay.
Also River Road.
River Road?
So you're hard top, you're talking oil and chips or?
Yes,
Yeah,
so it's at least on the surface street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
release prices, you can't be doing more than. Yeah, okay.
The Wingo one, we are proposing pavement for that, seems a through road and it's
Well used.
very heavily traveled.
Are you gonna stick with no trucks?
Yes.
How can you enforce that though?
As you're sitting there watching the whole thing.
Yeah, but I mean, you take these GPSs, they tell the 18-wheelers these days to go that way.
They see that sign, it's,
Yeah.
they know.
Because those are like the guys in the state. They're getting all.
It's floated down quite a bit.
Is that right? Yeah.
So for Cedar Grove and Wingo, those are both proposed as pavement, super big.
Yeah, but
That's
Cedar
not
Grove
the
just,
position of Cedar Road, that's just from Highway 514 to
Well,
the
yeah.
intersection of it.
yeah. And
That's
then
not,
it's just gonna be chipping, different where they call for Cedar Grove from there to,
nothing more this year.
no?
That's it, staying gravel, we're going to, actually within the roads maintenance portion of the budget, we've included liquid calcium, so we're gonna put liquid on from the intersection back,
Okay.
just to tighten it up and keep the dust down for right this year. But to do all the road projects this year would not be feasible. What we have to work with.
Yeah, what is that? Is it a little over a kilometer, not even a kilometer back?
Back from the intersection back is 1.2 meters.
So I was gonna say, you're not going very far with real asphalt,
No,
not for 200.
125,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
Roughly. So that covers those two, and the rest of them are double surface treatment. We do have under the construction portion of the budget, single surface treatment for fuel bill, single surface treatment for Burnt Bridge. Which includes Oscar Lane, and portion off the drain as well. Road maintenance, we've got some ditching, on White Lake. Some ditching and stone removal on Market Ranch. There's a little strip of Burnt Bridge that needs double surface treatment as well, that's included under the roads construction.
So for the ditching, we sub that out,
I'm going to tender for that, yes.
bring an excavator.
It's kind of a highlight of. With that, we do have some gravel and gravel line, there's 50,000 in there for. Some pit runs to fix up the August Lake extension. And possibly a little bit of aid for a couple of areas we have identified that we pop up, but it's not really like what we seen last year.
You ever thought of using like granite dust, like they put on driveway now, like tax really hard?
We use that on the Ringo Mill.
Oh, did you? Okay.
It's granular M, it's a little bit finer than, and it's poured into. Opposed to a granite material. The rest of the roads are granular A. That's quarry and granular M, that's on the, it's a little finer. It's got more fines in it than packs, I think.
Back there?
That's why we chose to put it on.
Still able to grade it though.
Absolutely. It's a lot tougher to grade.
Oh, that's what
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Okay, anything else on the road?
I would like, if council is happy with what we have proposed for the road projects. If we could go ahead and say, that's great, I'd like to get tenders moving,
Yes.
it's that time of the year, we should,
Oh, yeah,
we should have on this already, that one,
before too many other townships get them.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
As Virginia explained earlier with the revenue side of things. That's what we're getting for OCIF and gas tax this year. Plus a little bit used from the GIF reserves will cover all these projects.
Okay. Yeah, I see no problem with,
It balances it out.
with, rolling after.
And then you said there was 1.8 remaining in reserves?
At the end of 2022.
Yeah, at the end of 22. And that's just cash, right? It's liquid.
And a lot of those are specific reserves.
Some of them are.
Yeah.
Be a resolution to that effect here, but
What tenders are?
I think you should probably have one in regards to the more budget.
Yeah.
I'll get it right.
are there anything outstanding that council is thinking about?
No,
This is tidying up a lot of projects we started last year.
yeah,
Yeah.
and those are the roads that needed it.
Those are the roads that we and are identified in our asset management.
Yeah.
Very good.
How is our asset management plan coming?
No.
Right?
We have a draft back, we noticed some items that need to be addressed. Not they, yeah, it's shown for final copy was laying on my chair this morning.
So with that plan, are we documenting what we have?
What's that?
Asset management plan, meaning the assets that the township got.
Everything road specific right now is being identified.
Roads and culverts and bridges.
And we'll get into.
Next.
More infrastructure is the next step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be next year.
So has that,
And it's a 10-year.
has that updated our asset management plan, any old culverts, et cetera? So how do they go about? I guess maybe that question's better asked when they actually get it, but. You know, how do they know, like the previous asset management plan had identified every culvert up to a certain size? So how do they know without?
Actually looking at.
Yeah.
They base it off of assumption and over what an expected lifespan of
Okay.
such structure would be.
Okay,
The only issue is that they don't know what it has been replaced.
yeah,
It still shows up as needing to be replaced, and that's kind of where we're dragging ourselves right now, is looking at each piece saying, well, that was done this year, that was done this year.
yeah, that's,
It's-
yeah, if you didn't.
Yeah, if there's no records from road work in the past.
Exactly.
Then I guess again.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what I was coming at, is how do you identify what's there?
yeah, yeah.
And what's the life expectancy?
Exactly, like I
You have
know,
to start to review it.
Yeah, yeah, that's for the secret.
It's quite impressive.
because I know originally when the very first asset management plan, and I remember at that time, I think it was J2BG.
Yeah.
You know, they went in and see Long Road, measuring every culvert and
They
stuff,
looked
and
at all,
everything else, so how this many years later did they, yeah.
It's all. it's
They
based
take
on-
the old one and they look at the depreciation value and.
Yeah, you can break it down. And there might be things in there that says they need to be replaced, and maybe we go and review them, and look at it and find that they've already been or are still in.
Yeah.
Working order.
So then we kind of check that box and, yeah, move on. Yeah, because before, did we really have, say, after it was made, as things got fixed, did we really have a way of tracking that?
You know,
Is that something that should be created with the new asset?
I believe so,
It's
because it is
edible.
calling it, it's a working, it's a living document, so it's constantly should be.
It should be updated.
Yes.
So as we're going along, and we would say this replacement should automatically populate in the chart showing the life expectancy again.
Exactly.
Yeah, you could have a SQL database with everything put in, and you could have it tell you when it thinks the next thing you
Yeah.
projected into the all your projections would be there.
Exactly.
You could even put in what you think the year over year. Cost increase
Yeah.
would be, and you could have.
Yeah, I know, because that's,
You could have like 10-year, 15-year, 20-year plan.
yeah, that's basically what the county has that are set up already.
Yeah, he's good.
So it's gonna be nice once that's operational.
Yeah.
From our first draft to our second draft and some updates that we've already done.
Yeah.
It's impressive what we did last year. Maybe it's better.
Yeah. It's good.
Yeah, it's coming.
Where's the identify roads?
We talked about our own assets, like all our tools and equipment and.
Equipment is all tracked within the asset management plan, tools, small group and stuff, we don't have a new area, something like to start. Especially we really don't have, I have been noticed that on your, our small tools line over here is quite high this year. We really don't have a full in our jobs, past employees with regular tools in. Now, we have retirees and they take with them, so they like, yeah.
Well, yeah, the fleet is all over the place, because some is kind of your own, some is personal.
Yeah.
We have roads grouping there.
So, we'd like to purchase.
Certainly with value, it is, should be tracked in an asset management database.
Yeah.
There's
Or the plan.
quickly, a lot of dollars worth of
That's
stuff.
small stuff.
Stuff, that's some, that's small stuff.
So that would like change something, you know.
The plan.
So you can actually, you can ask, set a number, say, anything $300 and $500, you should try to put an asset number on it.
Schedule for 2023.
Yeah,
So.
it kind of went to more shop.
Eventually start with three.
Yeah, and that's about it. Yeah, it's about it. Instead of just kind of put a date stamp on it. Hey, I got this new Google, but probably after 3 to 5 years, you're gonna replace it. Then you can plan for it,
Okay,
when you know what you have.
up on the screen.
Oh, sorry.
I guess we will do that at the end.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're finished with roles then? Street item. So it's really, do we have an agreement with collectors for street light now? So we use,
We wells, we can use other people, wells are in fact, the less expensive of hiring other people based on travel times and availability of. That we are not under contract.
okay,
So it's as needed.
yeah, I think we
So
figured
we're
out.
trying to fit out other companies that Pembroke say, and they would be two trips to come and fix it because they don't carry the supplies.
So I mean, how often do you need a bucket
I'd
truck to
like
change
to
something?
wait till there's a few of them out.
Yeah.
Because there's a minimum charge to have a full one.
Okay.
Okay, so we're to environmental services. Oh, I see what the 250,000.
Yeah, I see that.
That answer your question.
Huh?
So. Our bulldozer is. Nearing the end of its service. There. Speaking with Pat on it, he said it's probably a good time for us to. Her please, was it?
What's wrong with
The. All of the bushings and pins for the main. Are badly worn, the main bushing and pin itself is ready to. All hard. There's a steering clutch that's acting up. There's a number of issues with it.
So in other words, good for scrap and nothing else.
No, it's definitely useful for somebody, but yeah, for us. If we want to- I don't think we understand them too.
What's it costing right now to just keep it going?
Just to keep it going. Exactly what I have on my desk. There's a breakdown, annual cost to keep it going.
How old is it? You know, then
I believe it was a 2001. late nineties. We're not exactly, I've been asking around trying to get the exact year on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to, well, we can still get something for it. Our case, it's really not doing us any justice at our waste site. As a bulldozer floats on top of things, we need a machine to push our garbage into the ground. And
That's what other sites use.
exactly,
Yeah, one of those big spikes on it.
we are wasting our lifespan, I don't know, with this machine. We could definitely expand our lifespan with the proper machine there. Unfortunately, they're very, very, very expensive.
That's the loader style, right?
Yes, so it looks like a loader chassis, it's got the four big steel wheels and the big machines for them, and similar to.
So is this for a new one?
No, that's for a used one.
Wow, how much is the new one?
Probably
You
over
don't want to know.
750,000 to $1 million.
Almost $1 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I found a dealer that takes them in, refurbishes them completely, and sets them back out. I'd like to go and have a look at, they have quite a selection of them, but apparently I thought of them, invited me down to the shop and have a look.
What was that?
Their name was Toronto, forget the exact relation. But, yeah,
With their refurbished units, what's the warranty?
he said that it was 1 year or you can buy more, I believe.
Yeah. So it's not, at least it's not tailored.
No,
Be a lot of maintenance.
on those, well, they're designed to be in a waste site, right? So all the seals are covered, they have guards on to keep things from getting into the drive shaft.
It wouldn't be like maintenance like a bulldozer.
No,
Like,
no, you don't have all the same undercarriage.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
you're basically like a loader.
It's like.
It's got a loader and the steel wheels, big steel wheels.
Or it's fitted over the planetary.
No, exactly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they're expensive.
They are not as expensive as a undercarriage.
No.
Well, exactly, and it extends the life of the lease.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a benefit to having one of these machines.
And they don't bury themselves
No.
deep either, they do a nice job, I watched the one at Grace Edmond, driving lots on the wayside there.
And he packs it and he pushes it in, and you
It
don't
really
get
does compact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, right now, our dozer's floating on top of
Yeah.
stuff.
It's designed to float on top of,
Yeah.
that's what it's supposed to do.
Exactly, it's the wrong tool for the job.
Yeah,
It's great to have, yeah, it would be beneficial to have, but not enough.
if you're pushing sand, it's a tool, but it's designed to
And
float.
honestly, for as much use it on the road,
Yeah,
just with your.
I forget, how many years is left on our dump?
That is in here, one moment, please.
that would determine if the read's still in.
Well, that's the thing, like, if it's building up and up quicker than what it should be, it's gonna cut back on the years of your.
Yeah.
I have that number right there.
For their expansion group. I don't know what the estimate is.
We check all the wood and
Yes.
stuff like that, so you bring it to the very chest.
Yeah.
There's a
You'll see that
line
line.
there for grinding.
I see the guys do it,
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing everything happening at Grace Edmond. Yeah, they usually chew that stuff all up. and-
Yeah.
All this, all the construction and demolition gets ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
And then in terms of.
Approximately 16 years,
16?
That's the good-
The way it's falling now.
that's what's. There's any useful life in the waste at 16.
That's with the extension.
I believe so, yeah. And then something too that the auditor was talking to us about was post-closure costs.
Yes.
Which amounts to around 254,000 that we should have.
Reserve fund.
So our reserves are sitting at.
Well, you would plan long term for that.
Yeah, but you would, you already have it accumulated, really.
Yeah.
So our resite reserves at the end of 2022 was sitting at 426,000.
Believe in the our post-closure cost covered.
Yeah.
And we can build it back next year. build it back up for, future machining or. Yeah, or,
What is the improvements to the site? So that figure.
So site improvements. That was to dig out the expansion. We started last year, we dug out a good chunk of the expansion. I'd like to do a little bit more this year, do a little bit every year, just to keep out of it.
Yeah.
As well, that covers, I want to get some signage, new signs for the front, they're all kind of damaged up and changed hours and it's all over the place. And the Palmer Apples and Thornville sites, I'd like to get some new gates. Some gates and signage area.
There are some new changes coming to the recycling within
Yeah.
processing of the waste site. So on December 31st of 2025 is our transition date to stewardship of the blue box. So basically, we don't have to pay for our recycling to be processed, it's manufacturer's responsibility. The negotiations right now are in the transportation of our recycling to the processing facility, so we're looking at how that calculates. Because right now, it's gonna be that they're gonna pay us back for paying for the transportation, but eventually they'll be taking over the transportation. But that'll be after the.
So who's responsible for collecting money from the manufacturer, sorry?
RPRA. And I can't remember what it stands for. Circular Materials is the one that's spearheading the whole process,
So
dealing with the
whoever
RFPs.
so whoever picks up the recycling is responsible.
They will be submitting an RFP to CMO. And they're the ones that are organizing the whole transition to get everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big change.
It's gonna be a big change.
There's some
I've been
people
following along.
transitioning this year though, isn't it?
The Toronto's the first one to transition this year.
So, yeah, so.
I'm gonna
you
prepare
said
a report.
somebody's
to cover everything
going back to
in
the manufacturer to collect the money.
Yeah, it's producer based.
For the, well, yeah, for the recycling things. It's already happening now in certain industries, so yeah, I'm just curious as to know who's, so the, whoever's doing the recycling, they own that, going back to the manufacturer, not the country. Okay.
No,
These guys right here, we got that hard.
I will bring a report to council when more things are finalized, but it's.
Well, you must see it now, if any commercial projects use recycling fee, you pay a recycling fee upfront.
Did you see that coming over there?
Oh, yeah, it's been going on for a few years. It's built into the every community, so.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
I'm very rich, you know.
Parks and Recreation. Public washrooms, that's the one over here. So they don't do a separate recreation? But they don't, or are they, no, something else. Good, I'll put down a lot.
Is it to build something?
Yes. Yes, so finish. We started off with the tail ends of the ministry funding.
Whatever, bottom we're down.
Is that the rec center down here?
Yes.
Okay, so the construction is done?
No, it needs to be finished. So it was started, we run out of funding, COVID hit, it was just,
Okay, so
that was the end of it, this is kind of.
this is just to button it up. So it's already inside the building,
It's there.
Yeah, okay.
It just needs to be
finished up.
finished.
It'll get used, the one in Quabbin gets used.
Oh, I'm off.
You'll notice the door, to the left of the main door, on the front of the building, that's where it's gonna be, that was the doorway that did in. Most of the,
You can't be doing too much for 25 grand, the 25 doesn't go.
doesn't go far, no, be an extension of the front step and then basically put everything inside. I think it's already its own room.
It's already trained up and everything, it's
Yeah.
just,
It's a matter of putting the.
Fixtures.
When we have the fixtures purchased,
Make it wheelchair accessible and, yeah,
Finishing.
and then it's done.
it's, yeah, if you don't go far, it's 25 grand. Believe me, I know.
Yeah.
Community enhancement.
So that is, part. Into the garden for some equipment. And part for our in-town horticulturists, I will say.
Okay.
They do a good job of that.
So that's for flowers and mulch and supplies for them.
1741, not 42 or not 40. It's 41.
The number, if you put the community gardens and that together, you'll come up with $4,000.
There you go.
And that covers.
That was, it was cute to see that here.
Yeah.
And then the $3,000 that goes to the rec center. In Quad.
Yeah.
That's been a standard thing for
Yep.
quite a few years.
Did we talk about the fish and game one time as well, or no? Okay.
Oh,
I didn't.
And then because the Pro Seasons is ours, we don't worry with that. It's in a separate place. Yeah, okay.
it's on the next
See it.
page,
Yeah,
bicentennial.
It's a good deal if you're getting telephone and internet for $550. The bicentennial.
Oh, yeah. There's no internet, it's just.
Yeah,
no,
there's no
yeah.
internet.
Yeah, that's okay. What are they thinking about doing with the family at Four Seasons? Is there an expansion or we're not sure?
A proposed multi-purpose pad, from what I understand.
So like,
Yeah, like pickleball.
or like basketball or
Badminton.
tennis maybe?
Yes. I don't know.
Well, that'd be nice. Yes, Renfrew has something similar outdoors.
Yeah. Well, I understand, I don't know for sure.
Would that be lit as well, do you think?
I'm not sure. Sure. Would be nice.
Yeah, I mean, normally that's something, if you like it, yeah, people use it. It'd be good to find out more about that. When you have a chance to speak to them. Sounds good.
Okay. So on to library services.
Standard,
Yeah,
yearly amount.
and planning and development. Yeah. Well, what's his name is coming?
It's on March 6th at 5:30, just keep that in mind.
Yeah,
Is it in our calendars? I didn't see that in the calendar.
I haven't said anything.
Okay, yeah, I was just looking today and.
So what's this surprise?
This is right.
The special meeting on March 6th at 5:30.
March 6th at 5:30?
Yeah, and you have to bring dessert.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, maybe we don't want Wayne cooking, is that what you're saying?
He makes good Caesar salad.
That's bad.
I just got the lettuce, the white
Okay.
mix, the white mix, gradual.
okay, so, yeah. You can find out what our local stuff is. Growth assessment for the county last year, 3.16%. I was shocked, that's a lot of development. 2.1%.
I think it was about estimated.
Yeah, it was estimated that in their long-term plan was 1.4%. Use their budget by 2.5%, and then the growth increase is over and above that, because doesn't affect the tax. No. County coming in at 4.4%. They tried for 2.5%, but they shouldn't.
But that's lower than what we expected.
Yeah, with the long-term care homes and the paramedics and all of that, it's been the wage increases and the insurance increases. WSIB has been really high because they're getting more PTSD cases. Yeah. But I see Roger tells me maybe Ottawa News last tonight at the county where they're going to allow residents of Vulture Manor to smoke on the
I've
property.
seen that.
I've seen that in the leader,
Yes.
Because I guess they had to go a long ways
Oh.
to get off the property, but not for staff, just for the residents. So then would you like us to do going forward?
Well, did you, just for any addition, I've got one thing that I want to, you kind of touched on back when the building. And those things was wheels for our building official. Like I said, we're sharing vehicles right now. We do have one pickup that's needs to be replaced. Should have been replaced last year, but. Yeah. The issue stands that. We revamped our waste site, and then suddenly we needed a pickup for that individual.
Yeah,
So the one that was to replace the green pickup in Colombo. Got shifted to be used at the dump. It was in Pembroke yesterday and we were gonna pass, used car lot. There's 2018 Ford F-150. That's just a regular half ton, 4x4, regular box. Priced at $27,444. Mileage on it. 35,000 mileage on it.
1 year?
2018. It's in really good shape. We picked it up. We did. For the building official, good for the office to go to the bank with once a week. We got rid of our 4 poles. Nothing really replaced it. We've kind of been juggling vehicles around here.
What's gonna happen when summer comes and somebody has to go clean up the beaches and that? And with the Rex students,
So usually in the summertime, one of our staff are on the grader. The other one's usually on the tractor or.
whatever we have.
So that individual will have that.
Okay.
And our building official only here for 3 days a week.
Yeah.
So there's 2 days a week that we can.
Yeah.
Shift it around Friday afternoons, when everybody else is usually done with it, the office will. Use it to go to town to do the deposit. So I don't know if council wants to do a purchase or leave it or now. Keep juggling things around. Keep our green bin alive the best we can.
Is it that bad?
It's falling apart now.
Yeah.
How many KD, vehicles per year?
Here, Around that,
25. Kind of as an average.
average, yeah. Some more depending on what you're doing, road patrols and stuff like that, you put on more. Closer to 30 or 40. Something like this, the way they 25,000.
So right now, our total expenditures versus our revenues, we're short $55,000, correct? So if you go adding more to the budget, then you're gonna have,
What's 2.5% of our taxation?
that'll bring you down to 30,000, 32,000.
And if we want to keep the washroom project in at the arena, the recreation has 73,500 in reserves.
That probably, no, you run out of money. Yes. You run out of money, it wasn't an unfinished project that got transferred into reserve.
Yeah.
Well, I think it should be done.
Washroom.
Yeah.
Well, absolutely, that's, no doubt, it's just like, my point is, how do you balance the budget when you're 55,000, where do you draw it? You know, your taxation is gonna bring in an extra $30,000, so you're still 25 short, I know we have it.
And you're not gonna have.
Is there- No. So yeah, you're gonna have a certain
No.
amount of growth also, so we don't know that yet.
The server isn't in there.
And the server's not in there.
What is the growth,
I don't.
annual, the historical growth?
If there's an average or not. RB is, I have to look back. at my notes. Actually, we're typically, we did better than some municipalities. I think it was around 2% all the time, so I get better.
I don't
So
remember.
if you look at 1.5%. You say, they say,
Yeah. So 1.5.
maybe 1.5. As a safe number.
So your taxation, say 1.384. That calculator was be looking at 15,000-20,000.
Yeah. You know,
It varies
there's
balance.
supplementary or something like.
Kind of the way it is now, you just balance that without extra purchases, so. Is
Yeah.
there any room left in reserves and any specific reserves that could be?
Yeah, so like I said, the washroom could be used, the recreation reserve,
We actually have room for recreation and all these things, the 3 lines too.
yeah,
73.5.
and there's an additional 15.
Is there any other things that come up where they need that reserve?
Or we need 5 total.
I can't see it much, no.
There's no big plan projects for recreation this year, other than washers.
We have town hall reserves, 26,790. And speaking with the auditor, that was set aside for upgrades and whatnot to the township building itself. So that could be something that the server could be pulled from to use.
We discussed splitting the cost between roads and general, well, if the road purchase this. We could take a little bit from road reserves, a little bit from general reserves, and
What's the logos are gonna be used on it?
We're hoping around 40,000 for it, we're just an estimate, but we would retrieve that also.
So 40. They say 30, but they say it's. So that's an additional piece. It would come back.
The other revenues too.
That would come back throughout the year, but we could potentially plan for that.
Sure. They're all set to pick up.
Yeah, that offsets the truck.
Yeah, and our growth plus our
Increase.
our tax increase would be matching.
Would pretty close to balance.
I say something.
We should be fairly safe, I think. Without dipping into the reserves.
Reserves, yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, slightly, they can have to maybe, but they're
And then
other than the changes.
a lot of that, you know, and lots of the things that we looked at in here, there's things that probably wasn't even there last year
Yeah.
that I see that it looks good.
Just for council. Awareness to the rest of what is it, their lot.
Yeah.
At
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. If, only 10 or 15 minutes. It all sounds like.
Yeah.
Definitely workable, and I don't know you have to go to reserves.
Probably, maybe not. Yeah.
I think it'll really save some, I think it'll work on the year.
Yeah. So council is looking at 2% increase in money, is that
We were paying with 1.5, right?
1.5?
That's what we were paying with.
Okay.
That's what I was.
That's what you mean.
That we're trying to play safe.
Just one number, so I can.
Using, well, yeah, we're just using state numbers. So we kind of modeled it with 1.5, and then we modeled potential, you mentioned 40 for the bulldozer, we talked about 30, again, another safe number.
Yeah,
Just
just
to,
even if it grows at 1.5, and then you're
Yeah.
increase at 1.5.
3%, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems definitely workable.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We've gone over this many times to get over to the point where we haven't right now, so.
You should have seen it when we started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's needs and wants, right?
So is council willing then to go ahead with the purchase of this vehicle? We would need a resolution.
Yeah, definitely, right.
What's everyone think? What entries in that fund?
But the 2.7.
Evolution, yeah.
So it's only a 16.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to take you with what that is. Certified.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some to you certified as well.
Oh, yeah, it's, ready to go, so 27,444 and the taxes and license.
Yeah.
Get ready to go.
Yeah, ask them to be bigger with the price.
Oh, I might just do that.
Yeah, on the side, you
That's pretty good.
Well, I have, but the only reason I ask is because I know you go to buy a used vehicle off these lots these days, they'll tell you.
Well, especially trucks, it's hard to.
It's, this is the price, and that's what we want for it.
I will try my best.
But it's in line with what I see. I've been doing some first things too, it's in line. If you don't get much for 30 grand.
I tell you to use your account.
27,444 is HSB license.
Yeah. $130 paid, right? That's $130, somewhere in there, some help in there.
3155.
27.
Yeah, you're right, 135,000. So you'd be looking at, you should be able, if the truck's looked after, you should be able to run that truck for 3 years. Without too much.
Yeah.
It's good, right? Unless someday there's, but I mean, it should run. You should get 5 years every time.
Yeah, well, there's a insane on it.
You're pulling 25K a year. Yeah. I'm just saying that this puts it in 250,000
I'm only.
in 5 years. And usually maintenance starts happening on a vehicle that's looked after in around the 225 to 230, start happening, you know, maybe you need an axle, maybe you need.
The fire house was purchased used. There was 127,000. 200. Yeah, your deposit on 260 on it now.
Yeah.
We haven't done any major.
Yeah.
But,
Just gonna say.
yeah, the usual stuff breaks. tires.
Yeah, the normal things, but normal talking transmission, good axles.
Not the way.
Yeah, but I mean, the things are.
They go back, they maintain and then look after it.
They will do you well, yeah.
All right.
So then we got 5 years, and you look at the cost of it, it's, you do the math on it, it's $6 grand a year, we're trying.
Yeah.
What do we pay for that full set, that 55?
Well, we got a number of years in it, but you know,
Maybe 65.
like honestly, a building official goes into sites that are, they're excavating, they're rough, they're in the back end, you know, it's not an ideal situation for a car.
No.
And that thing was amazing.
I remember buying that.
We bought that in 2009, no, sorry, 2016.
Yeah.
It was a 2009. Can't remember what we paid for it, I thought the price tag was a $9, so. I'm pretty sure it is.
It wasn't much,
Yeah, it wasn't much.
I got it was advanced, service one.
Okay, so, this work on
Yes.
Where am I at here? I gotta refresh it.
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
Do we want to set a date for a meeting in March, or will we do that next regular meeting in March?
What about the night that Bruce is here? He's only like an hour and a half or something, and we're at 5:30, so that takes us to
Gives us some time,
7.
gives us some time to talk that,
Yeah,
we're already here,
So March 6th then?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
whatever shows up in the calendar.
To start here to send the invite.
Council's happy with everything you said, budget wise.
Council have any other wishes, wants?
Oh, lots, but.
It needs the box, right?
The budget numbers won't look too bad.
No,
No,
I just like the fact that he's brought us a budget that had some direction in it, and had some numbers for the projects and the roads and stuff.
yeah.
It's obvious there's thought into it, it's not hard to see.
No, exactly.
And there's only so much you can do, there's only so much you gotta work.
That's
with.
right.
Well, that's right.
We started off with something amazing.
Yeah.
Just, oh no. Shed a few tears. Change some numbers, move that to here, yeah, it's a lot of work, but.
Okay, so, we've got a resolution before us, the council of the corporation of the township of Greenville and Boston, Rankin direct the operations manager to proceed with RFPs for planned road construction projects scheduled for 2023. Again, mover on that, please. Councilor Bella, second by Councilor Paul. Any discussion?
Chatter.
Yeah, I think so, we gotta bring it
Could
out.
I, call for the vote on it, all those in favor?
Yes.
Carried. We got another resolution, the council of the township of the Blue Mountain Dock and Raglan hereby authorizes the operations manager to purchase a 2018 F-150 for $27,444 plus HSE license. Can I get a mover for that, please? Councilor Banks, seconded by Councilor Papel. Any discussion?
No?
I'll call for the vote, all those in favor?
Yeah.
So you're gonna figure out the funding? Yep. For where it's gonna come from?
We'll put it into the budget. rule then.
Yeah, but you're gonna take some from the,
Split it between.
Yeah,
roads in general.
because of the building official.
Yeah.
Okay, so the bylaw. We have a resolution that we, council, the corporation, the township of Green Island, Dock and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw 2023-11, being the bylaw to appoint Eddie Whitmore as chief building official. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Capell, seconded by Councilor Banks. Any discussion?
No?
Okay, can I call for the vote then? All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. We have another bylaw that we, the council of the corporation of the township of Green Island, Dock and Raglan, hereby repeals bylaw number 2022-64 and adopts bylaw number 2023-12, being a bylaw to approve the submission of an application to Ontario Infrastructure Advance Corporation, OILC, for the long-term financing of certain capital works. The corporation of the township of Brunel, Dock and Raglan, the municipality, and to authorize entering into a rate offer letter agreement pursuant to which the municipality will issue debentures to OILC. Can I get a mover for that, please? Mover Councilor Keller, seconded by Councilor Claude. Any discussion?
If I may, through the mayor, just to clarify things for council. So the bylaw that was passed in 2022 was for temporary borrowing and long-term borrowing, which was construction and debenture, and we only need the bylaw to deal with the debenture. This is for the greater, so we're just getting things fixed up here. Debenture bylaw loan should come to March 1st meeting.
Okay.
And everything's been approved, it's just finalizing these five little bits.
Okay. So. I got a mover in a second. Okay, and any more discussion? Can I call for the vote, please? All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Got another resolution that we, the council of the corporation, the township of Brunel and Dock and Raglan, hereby adopts bylaw number 2023-13, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the February 2nd, 2023 special meeting of council. Can I get a mover for that, please? Moved by Councilor Capell, seconded by Councilor Banks. Any discussion? I'll call for the vote. All those in favor?
Yes.
Motion carried. That this meeting is adjourned at 9:08 p.m. I need to move the please. Councilor Banks.